Okay. So I am live. Yay. Alright, so I'm going to continue trying to finish up the sheepy sheep tonight. Which means a little more coat. Tonight is grapes and root beer. Well, it's root beer. It's maybe not exactly non-alcoholic root beer because it's delicious root beer. But yeah, tonight's going to be an alcoholic root beer night. Yeah. Because reasons. But yeah, so I'm going to be trimming up the sheep's fluffy beard. And then adding some stuff on here. So first things first. Oh man, behave yourself. Yank my headset out because it hurts. All right, cool. So I've got his little mane going, and I need to trim this up so it's a little more representative of this type of ship. Let's get a look at you. And I'm going to go and start trimming this down. So it'll be much more like my actual ships, and then I'm going to add some more. So I'll probably reuse a large chunk of this. And what I've noticed with these guys is they tend to kind of goes like this. So I'm going to be doing some haircuts. I want to preserve a bit because I'm going to reuse this stuff on the underbelly. Thin this just a bit. Because they do have these really cute, like, floofy manes, like right under their chins. And it's okay, there's a little bit of double cut, but not too much. And then we kind of go down to the belly. And I will go ahead and I will be able to recycle some of that. But there we go. So that's a little more representative of the there. And that's that I like to call it a mane because to me it looks kind of like a mane. It's a different type of wool that's up on front. I just kind of like to pick that, to blend it. And so we go ahead and pick that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and follow up a little bit up to the side of the face because I've noticed my guys have like a little bit of sideburns. There. So that's a little more representative of what the kind of ships look like. Gotta be kind of careful. You don't want it so far down because on the actual sheep, this bit's not quite that close. It's actually a little bit tighter to the chest. So these under bits, remember they got kind of longish legs, so make sure that that's a little more representative. There, it's probably closer to that. Where it's still fairly long in the front, but the bottom bits, yeah. There we go. So we're still fluffy. Still definitely fluffy, but maybe not quite that long. And again, I'm just going to kind of, pick that and blend it. You got that nice cording still. It'll look I think a lot better once it's all kind of blended together and the rest of that cording's in there where it's all hanging down. There we go. There. And we still got those little feet. I'll probably do little hoovesies on this guy too. There we go. So that's a lot what they actually look like. and I am going to do those rounded out eyes, but I'm also going to take this this wool that I've trimmed and feed it back into this sheep. So, because I don't like wasting anything, I'm going to go take the stuff that we just trimmed off, because it's still fairly tight together, and just go ahead and pull this up, lay that down, and get that right on the underbelly. And I'll go ahead and fold that back in with a little more of the other wool. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull it out, so we still got a bit there, and just keep feeding it back into that. I remember, like I said last night, is they'll have some wool on the underbelly, but they're not going to have it quite as thick at like the armpits and stuff, so I'm actually going to leave those bare. Yep, let me just put that over here where it's a little more visible. And then once the underbelly is taken care of, I'm going to go back up to the top and keep doing those locks. Just want to make sure I have a good enough representation of an undercoat on this guy. This is going to be partially hidden, so use a little bit of brushing out. I just want to make sure that there's enough fluffy there. And again, just ensure that there's enough kind of loose wool just to give it sort of that nice sheepy texture, and that there's a little bit of padding so when I start adding the top stuff it blends better. And again, I don't like wasting, so that's kind of what I'm doing, is I'm lifting this stuff up and making sure that there's enough here to kind of cover, and also using that to blend. And like I said, I will be taking some of these shorter bits and going up on the cheeks too, just so that finish is blending in. So I want to get anywhere that there's that straighter wool. So we're getting kind of those sideburns, those little sheepy sideburns. That's kind of almost exactly what they are. They're kind of like little sheep sideburns. Now, what I will have to do, though, in order to get this to stay, is I do need to take some of the fluffier, longer wool. And what I found is you have to kind of fold this over and then sort of use this to really lock in that fiber. So there is a little bit of folding and almost weaving along with the felting. In order to get it to look right. But there, so that kind of blends down a bit, so you can see where there's some of that straighter wool here, just kind of underneath the chin a bit, and I'll do that again. I'll mirror that on the other side, and then I'll go back to the curlier stuff on the head. So we're gonna get that straighter wool here just to blend. It's like I said, I don't want to waste the short stuff either. I'm kind of using that rolling technique again. And I'm going to go ahead and do these like I did yesterday with the curly queuing. Just kind of tightening them up using the broken felting needles. So where we still got a little bit of that twist at the end, I'm going to go ahead and accentuate that a bit by tightening this up. And because this has a bit more grease in it, it tends to hold it a bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and twist and wrap, and twist and wrap, and twist and wrap. Alright. And then once that's kind of tight, then I'm just going to go ahead and pop it off. And very gently undo it. So we have at least still got a bit of a curl in there, hopefully. It holds it a little bit. And fold it over and then stick it on. Because I want these to be longer, but I do want to kind of have a bit of that effect. So I think I'm just going to start with the sheep up towards the top, and I'm just going to go all the way down. So that's going to be my goal with this one, is just do a whole bunch of these rows all the way down. And I'm just going to kind of build on it from there. because I want this to be like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and I don't want to pull too hard because I don't want to uncurl them, but I do need to separate them a little bit. I'm just trying to gently separate out this wool. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for, is I want these to be separated out into kind of locks. I want that waviness, and I'm going to kind of just go over the top, because this is a lot how Pie's coat is too. How his wool falls is just kind of starts in like the center of his back and then drapes over both sides. So what I'm going to start with is getting down on the sides, the underneath bit, and then the final ones I'm going to go ahead and stack up top. So like for these that I did last night, I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull them down a bit. So I think I just want them to be kind of, you know, a little bit corded underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out just a hair. Then we're going to lock them back in. So I just want some time to kind of sleep on it to see what I liked, and I think this is what I'm going to prefer, is get these underneath and then lock the longer ones on top. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, well, hopefully that fixed that. I unfortunately just don't know. but I'm gonna hope it did. I'm trying to get really tight curls here. There, that's nice. There. And this is all wool from my sheeps and my lambs. So this is all this wool's from sheep I've either sheared myself or that I've raised here. Oh, this is actually even still in the grease because I've actually keeps its crimp a little better if you leave it in the grease. So it still has the lanolin in it. Oh, hey Tofu! I am working on a sheep that is based on one of my current lambs. So when I kind of kidnapped him from the field the other day to use him as a reference. But I'm doing this a little bit different. I'm doing this a longer coat, so it's more corded. So see, that's like actual little curls. So see, he's got a little curly coat. So it's very curly. And I'm just trying to finish up doing this undercoat. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay strips over the top. Like I almost got this side completely done. So this side's just about full out. And then I'm going to lay these longer ones all the way over the top. So I got a little more to do, like one more row here. And then I'm going to do the back. And then I'm just going to do some detail work. And finish filling this little guy in. And then I want to make the eyes. So there's actually not too much left. So we'll see how far this goes. What's kind of cool about this is it's based off my Icelandics, and they have almost like a mane up front, which is actually kind of cute. So I'm just going to pull off some of this excess, do some shaping. There. And this guy's a two-tone. He's got some brown wool and some white wools. There's some more sheeps. Ooh. I'll have to bring the chats up in the other window, apparently. It's like, oh my god, tethering is active. No dir. Because if tethering wasn't active, there would not be it wouldn't work very well. It'd be bad. No, we have to test things too. Make sure this works. Yay! Look, it worked. Okay, just so I know things work. I'm not particularly tired. I've had a bit of a week, but I'm making up for it. Tonight tonight's the thing we're testing is the Not Your Father's root beer. It's my favorite beer. It really is. It's like the best beer. Stay phone. Yeah. How have you been, Tofu? I've tried to catch a bit of your stream or had Carl go lurk in there a bit, but yeah, Wednesday is one of my class nights. Is I do my hopefully the phone will no, don't just stay. There. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I like to check stuff out, but yeah, class nights are Wednesday nights, and so I kind of like to come back and I just decompress by stabby things. Because it's nice to stab things sometimes. But I enjoy this. I'm trying to finish up this sheep, and then I have an owl I want to work on. Probably not tonight. I'll probably start the owl either tomorrow or the next day. And I probably won't be felting on Friday. I might live stream because Gamma Tears and I are going to be traveling to Tennessee. We're working. He's president of my computer club, and I'm one of the other officers. And we are two of the people that are working on making a B-sides for Bloomington. And there's a B-sides Nashville this weekend, which is one of the B-sides that I do work with, so I know people down there. And so we're going to go do some recon because he's never been to B-sides, and since we're planning one, I'm like, well, you should probably see how it goes. So we're going to go down, and we're going to travel down to Tennessee to go to B-sides on Saturday. So there's a possibility that we may be streaming from either his stream or my stream via the truck, just to kind of keep everyone awake. And we may just kind of do, you know, chat time, depending on who's driving. Just read chat and see if anyone wants to just do like a, you know, Q&A, or we'll just talk tech for a couple hours just to pass the time, which might be fun. Yeah, I think it sounds like fun. I think it might be a fun thing to do. I'm totally up for doing like an Ask Me. I'm always up for Ask Me Anything. I actually always am. I am more than happy to tell stories. Just because I don't mind. I think it's fun, and I also don't mind learning about other people because I think that's the trade-off. It's like, yeah, you can ask me anything. I might ask you questions too. It's so pretty. Yeah, we'll see how stuff goes. I think this was that cleaned out. Yeah, this was the wool I washed. No, I guess it did kind of get a little crimpish. That's okay. That's what I wanted. Very much exciting stuff, though. Oh, Carl's doing good. Carl went up to Indianapolis yesterday. So we actually had Carl in the truck, and we streamed from Carl's stream while we were riding. And it was ended up being me, and I was driving, and PG-13 was in the passenger seat, and Carl was there with us. And